He hasn't come on the screen, that was all. We are live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Paper Talk. Going to get straight into it. Kicking it off with, you can guess who, Bruno Fernandes. Seems to be edging ever closer now, doesn't it? You know, day by day we're getting new news breaking every minute, every hour. So from yesterday evening, the news broke that Fernandes wants to move and personal terms aren't reported to be an issue. As well as this, it's understood among the press in Portugal that Sporting want Marcos Rojo included in any deal. However, reports this morning are saying that should we want to keep Rojo, which doesn't seem to be the case, but you never know, Sporting may look at Andreas Pereira on a loan deal, obviously going the other way. Looking at it, it seems like the only thing stopping this deal from going through at the minute is the fee. Obviously, like I said, personal terms don't seem to be an issue. And having said that, Sky have even reported this morning that the transfer is still a long way being off, down to the fee and the valuation being quite far apart. And normally, if that's the only thing left to be agreed with the transfer, then it's normally more than likely to go through. But you know what we're like in the transfer market, and Mr. Woodward, I'm sure, will make things as difficult as possible. You know, fingers crossed, it is going to go through eventually. We have just got to be patient, and you know that I think people are almost quite reluctant to get excited about this one because we've seen too many deals. Obviously, Dybala was the big one in the summer, not come off, and you know we have got to be patient and just bide our time with it. And fingers crossed, it's not going to be too long till we see him stood outside Carrington with a scarf and a shirt in his hand. So get your comments in about Bruno Fernandes. How much do you think he's worth? Obviously, the 60 million have been mentioned, 50 million. Obviously, there will be some add-ons there, I'd imagine, as well, included in that as well. So moving on to another midfielder, Donny Van de Beek again. Now, I know we brought you the news yesterday that Van de Beek has definitely come out and said he's staying in this window and might even be looking to stay beyond the summer window as well. However, there's been a development on that in the last 24 hours or so, with Sky Sports again reporting that the Ajax midfielder is looking set to leave in the summer. The report suggests that Van de Beek will consider a move to a Premier League team as well. Now, again, this could be good news for United. Obviously, like I've said plenty of times on Paper Talk videos, you know, we are lacking in midfield quality numbers. We do need more options in there, and you know, it definitely seems to be someone that we are interested in, and rightly so. You know, we've seen great performances from him, especially in the Champions League. I think against Spurs in the semi-final, he was fantastic over the two legs, and you know, we've had pretty well established sources over here reporting that United are interested. Obviously, I think the Athletic and David Ornstein have run with it quite a bit. And luckily for us as well, I don't think I've not personally heard of any other English team that have been linked with him. If you have, make sure you get it down in the comments. Certainly not linked to him as heavily as we've been. Having said this, I do think Madrid are supposedly interested in him as well, and so you probably have to think, you know, if we are going to go back in for Van de Beek in the summer, having Champions League football is probably going to be quite crucial as to whether any potential deal can be done. And like I say, we know we're lacking in that midfield area, and especially if, you know, the likes of Paul Pogba are going to look to move in the summer, and if Andreas Pereira goes the other way on the Bruno Fernandes deal, you know, I know Pereira hasn't been amazing this season, but he is another body in there, and you know, he does try hard, but. No, we are going to need more options in there, especially if we're looking to let some people go. Nemanja Matic is a name that probably not going to leave this window, but in the summer you probably fancy to leave. Talking of players leaving, we've just mentioned two incomings, and now we're going to go to a potential outgoing as well. And it's club captain Ashley Young. This one seems to be rumbling on now, and it looks as though it's going to remain that way for at least a few more days. With Sky Italia reporting that Inter Milan and Roma are close to agreeing a swap deal between Matteo Politano and Leonardo Spinazzola. I've absolutely butchered the pronunciation of them, but I'm not Italian, so leave me be. If that deal was to go through, then that'd mean Inter probably aren't going to need Young any longer because they're going to have enough options at fullback. Personal terms have supposedly been agreed between Young and Inter, and Young seems quite keen for the move. United just seem reluctant to let Young go, which to me personally does seem a bit daft, you know. But yeah, he's been a good servant to the club, and I know he's supposedly an experienced player, and we haven't really got many of them in the dressing room now. Obviously he's won the Premier League as well, and we haven't got many players in our dressing room that have done that either, you know. But I think he's been a good servant to the club, and he doesn't really have anything to offer now, and he doesn't want to be here. We've had the reports over the last week that he's refused to play, and he said he doesn't even want to be on the bench, which I don't think's the case. Judging from what you hear about Ashley Young, he definitely seems to not just give his all for the club, but he genuinely does seem to be a United fan as well, which is good news. So I think, in all honesty, it's probably better for both parties if this deal does go through. Maybe this is just into sort of forcing United's hand a bit. Maybe they probably have got other targets beyond Ashley Young, but I think there was a report that came from Italy that suggested that Conte even wanted Young when he was at Chelsea. So he's clearly a big fan of Ashley Young. So again, it might just be into saying, look, if you're not about this deal, then we're going to go and find other players, and that'd probably be a shame for Ashley Young, because he does seem quite interested in going to Italy. Ashley Young, if he was to go to Italy, I think Inter Milan are challenging for the Serie A this season. If he was to go to Italy and win the Serie A, he can look back on his career and say he's won the Premier League, he's won pretty much everything domestically in England as well with United, the Europa League, and of course we can go and add a Serie A title to his collection as well. For a very average player, he will have done quite well. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to come over to you guys in the comments. Let's have a look. Everyone give up. Oh, where's that one gone? Bear with me. Everyone give up all the hype and no Bruno at the end. It's like I said, I'm trying to reserve myself with this one. I think it was reported a lot in the summer, but I think it was heavily Portuguese press, and there does seem to be more in it this time round. But yeah, I think judging what we're like in the transfer market, we all know we're not the best at business dealings. So I think people are a bit reluctant to get excited. But we're going to have to wait and see, and fingers crossed it is going to go over the line very, very soon. I don't care how much they pay for him, because it'll only go into the Glazers' pocket. Probably not far wrong on that one, mate. Fabrizio Romano just tweeted, Bruno deal nowhere near close. Yeah, is it finished? Oh, he hasn't tweeted? No. Someone giving me false information in the comments there. Let's have a look, get a couple more in. It's the Ginger Action Bronson. Cheers, mate. Let's have a look. What does everyone think of us signing Rice? I'm a massive advocate of us signing Declan Rice. I don't think he's really that much better than anything that we've got. I think that just the fact he's English probably makes him sound a bit more better than he is. But yeah, I don't see the massive fuss about him. I never really have done. For me, he just sort of falls in that Sean Longstaff category of just okay English midfielders. I don't think he's any better than the likes of Fred and Scott McTominay, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. Reports are saying that Ollie is blocking a deal if they are trying to include a player to swap, because he doesn't want to have to fill gaps elsewhere. That might make sense. Yeah, I think in a way, I don't think Rowe going would leave that much of a gap, because if you can keep the likes of Eric Bailly fit, we've still got Tuanzebe, Fosu Mensah can play there. I don't think that's going to leave too much of a hole in the defensive options. But certainly, if Pereira was to go in the other direction, obviously we do need more numbers in the midfield, definitely. And if we were going to let one go and come in, then we're sort of back in the same situation we are in, despite us having more quality there. If Bruno Fernandes was to come in, couple more. First choice to replace Fred and McTominay would be Neves. Yeah, Ruben Neves is a good shout. I think you're going to struggle to get him out of Wolves, especially in January as well. It might be something we look to explore in the summer, but I think that one sadly might be a bit difficult to pull off. The board can't let another transfer fall through, but dragging it out again isn't helping them. Apparently they are stuck between 50 million and 70 million. 50 million was the price in the summer. It's one of them, we don't ever seem to get deals done quick. I mean the Wan-Bissaka deal is a prime example of that. That seemed done ages ago in the summer, even before the window opened. And again, it took us weeks of the summer window to announce that. And you're right, the board don't help themselves in this situation, and we do need to just start looking at getting deals done. However, I did look this morning that George Mendes, who is Gelson Fernandes' agent, has been busy dealing with that. He's moved to Spurs, but now he's going to turn his attention to the Bruno Fernandes one. So maybe we're not going to have to wait too much longer for that one. And I think we are going to wrap it up on that one. Cheers for getting your comments in. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.